Ready for a very special day. This is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, it's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving, so this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, it's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving, so this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day it is. It is a wonderful Wednesday. It means Education Wednesday. It means my partner in crime, my coach this morning, is Bradley Gilbert from Walmart over there. Good morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
And it's Education Wednesday. We have Salem
Yes,
in the house.
Salem.
Woo, woo. We have our wonderful, our principal, Troy Albert with us, and we also have Amy Whitlatch. Right. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning.
Bradley.
Good morning.
All right, Bradley, do you have our sponsors over there? Or do
I do.
Okay, awesome.
I've got them, yeah. We've got Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Dr. Blackside Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Partially Wealth Management, Americans for Prosperity, and Fantastic Sam's.
Yay,
Thank you,
they're
sponsors.
hiring over there.
They are hiring.
Yeah,
I just visited yesterday.
I just told their dad, I said, Bradley Gilbert goes over there.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about hiring, you know, I said I could do some washing, you know, I don't think I can cut, but don't put the scissors in my hands. I could do the washing and help out. But anyway, we're on to the 8th day of March. And marching right along, and Troy, I want to score some. You need to score some points here because this was cool. He said, "You know what day it is?" He said, "A very special day."
It is a special day. My wife's birthday is today,
Yay!
and I appreciate every minute that I got to spend with her today.
Yeah,
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
To her.
Yeah.
So, do you got any big plans? What are we putting you on the
No,
spot?
no big plans. She had a greenhouse delivered yesterday, so
Now that
is going to be what she's probably going to work on.
Super excited for her.
Yeah.
Me too.
me too. Speaking my
Well-
love language there.
well
yeah, I
played,
just
yeah.
got a greenhouse too, so she's an awesome. Yeah, that's
I think
great.
this time of year, you know, because I'm going to be in a few weeks having a birthday. I think the spring, when you're a spring baby, it just like is so awesome because like you get the spring fever, and you know, of course, yesterday was plant power, so like plants, indoor plants, and you guys have all kinds of indoor plants at Walmart. Before long, those spring flowers will be coming in, kicking off the garden season, and in a greenhouse. How apropos! That's perfect.
So she's got the green thumb in the family.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Will she do like garden? I'm sorry, Troy. I know we're going to be talking about education, but I want to know more about this. Will she be doing like vegetables or fruits or flowers or all of the above?
Whatever she desires at this point. It's just something she's wanted for a long time as a former science teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
And I think that she wants to get her plants started so that, of course, she loves gardening and loves flowers around the house. So just those starts need to have a little better place to start other than our basement.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Well, good for you guys. Yeah. That's well played on her part, because I never know what, like, what to get, and that's really practical. That's good. Good. Well, happy birthday to her, and good for on the 8th day of March. Okay. All right. Today is describe what your name means day. Somebody just gave me this one not too long ago. Anybody got any kind of a meaning to their name?
Well, my last name comes from the Gilbertine monks in Europe.
Look at you. That's cool.
They dropped the I-E.
My name came from my parents.
That's,
Well,
that's
look
good.
at he'll be here all day.
Yeah. All
Equal
cylinders
deal,
already.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, kind of deal. What about you, Amy?
Amy means beloved.
Oh, I love that. Oh, there you go. Well, I said this the other day because I think we had this actually not too long ago. Mine was Rebecca and Becky Thatcher from Tom Sawyer. So that's kind of what it means, I guess. I don't know what it means, but
There you go.
that's what it is. And there's a few country music songs with my Rebecca Lynn, and I told the girls years ago that it was written for me. When they got older and found out, I got blasted. It was not about
That's
you.
okay.
It's all right. For a few years, I was on top. Girls Write Now, Girls Write Now. I think we take a pen and paper and write, I guess. Dear Diary. International Women's Day. Let's hear it for the women, right?
Yes.
Look at that. Sorry, guys. Okay.
So today and tomorrow, in honor of International Women's Day, you should wear pink or purple.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And of course, pink. I love pink. Yeah, and purple. Purple with the royalty. Don't you feel that way? Just like love that. National Peanut Cluster Day. Brad, you like a peanut cluster?
Oh, yeah.
Amy, peanut cluster?
No, you know it.
Troy?
No sugar.
Oh. Would you eat one if you were like?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would not. So.
Why not?
I
What's
don't
wrong?
like peanuts.
Mm.
No, very much more almonds.
Okay.
Those are good.
All right. Yeah. National Proofreading Day.
No, they class
That, or in my world, that's proofread your emails before you send them.
There you go. That's right. 2 or 3 times. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Right.
I think that's the same in all of our
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
every
That
one
is
of
true.
No Smoking Day.
That's
Okay.
a good one.
Yeah, definitely. National Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day. So hats off to all of them and keeping everybody. I think really that nutrition has changed. I think everybody's really kind of doing things. Even like restaurants and stuff are offering more of your nutritional, items. And I know at Walmart, there's an app too that you can download it on Walmart, and it will show you like items to pick out.
Yes.
Good ideas, and like if you're like certain things you kind of want to steer away from, maybe steer away from sugar. Don't walk down the Easter aisle.
So the Peeps, especially.
Oh.
As soon as you walk in the
Coming
front
in
door,
strong.
there's a display of Peeps of all flavors. So Troy,
You don't have any worry.
Yeah. Well, I was at Walmart. It was the day before yesterday, and you had all those wonderful the peanut butter eggs, the chocolate peanut butter eggs, and my daughter was like, "Should I get some?" And we were like, "How could you go wrong, right? That you don't like the peanut butter eggs?"
No.
Okay.
But I do like peeps.
Okay.
But the best ones are the dark chocolate covered peeps from Ships.
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
never had that.
You should go there.
Yeah.
It's been
That
around
place-
since before the 1900s. It's a chicken store on 6th Street.
That's where the original Majeska came from.
Yeah.
Which
You
is-
can find it at Cracker Barrels and stuff like that. It's the marshmallow that's hand dipped in caramel and then wrapped.
And then they make homemade cinnamon and then like lemon drops. They're the best ones.
Well, I've never been.
Yeah.
I feel so out of it. Troy, have you been?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Well, the only one in
We
the
did a
room.
field trip there one time.
I did too.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat. I have to do that. That's all be on my bucket list for sure.
Well, speaking of Peeps,
Yeah.
you can use Peeps for s'mores.
Yes.
Whatever flavor
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
use that
Yeah.
as your marshmallow.
Yeah. I actually think I'm going to do that this Easter. You just do you put the Peeps on top, you do like the graham cracker and the chocolate, and then you put the Peeps on top and kind of bake it,
Mhm.
and then you can, I think I'm going to make it pretty.
There you go.
Make it pretty. Anyway, okay, so let's jump in and find out. We're so glad. Amy, is this your first time on the radio with us?
Yes, it is. This is actually my first year at Salem.
That's what I thought, yeah. You're really kicking and going, aren't you? Really kicking it.
Trying to.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about, first of all, let's talk with Troy. Troy is the principal at Salem Community School, High School. And Troy, let's talk about right now. So we are kind of in that, we're in that long hold. You know, this is where waiting for spring break to hit. We finished Christmas and we finished, you know, the New Year's. This is kind of that area where, and there's not a lot of color outside. There's not a lot of sunlight necessarily. Of course, some days there are. But I mean, is this a little harder to keep everybody, you know, wrangled in a little bit?
It is, but I think that right now the focus is finishing the 9 weeks, because the 9 weeks ends Friday.
Yeah.
So that's still a focus with our kids, to make sure that they have completed all the tasks that they need to be successful. And I think that then they can see the writing on the wall that we have 2 more weeks and then we're going to have spring break. So I think it's something to look forward to, and the energy kind of goes up.
Okay, awesome.
The winter sports have come to a close, and spring sports are just getting started, so there's a lot of energy starting there as well. So, and the clubs are meeting regularly after school, so I mean, there's tons of excitement going on every day at the building.
So it normally seems like, you know, when we talk about folks coming in for Education Wednesday during the Christmas break and stuff like that, and then, you know, you're just going back and you think about, everybody talks about that long stretch, but I know, I mean, which I'm not in school every day, obviously, but it's interesting that you're saying this Friday, you know, the 9 weeks is over. So 9 weeks actually kind of went a lot faster, maybe, hopefully, than to some, maybe to the students, maybe, I don't know. It just is interesting that it's like, oh, it's been 9 weeks already, or maybe it's just easy to say that since I'm not in those buildings every day.
Brad was also the one who looked after me after every time I had a baby. Oh wow, that 9 months went fast. Depends on what end you're on or what side you're on. Okay.
That is true. Yeah. But I mean, you know, it's like one of those things, because a lot of times this is that stretch that everyone's like, spring break can't get here soon enough.
Yeah.
Well, I think it also turns on right now. I mean, the pressure starts to build with seniors. You know, what has to be completed, and then you got scholarships that are applying for, and you have a whole bunch of you know, activities that are coming up, prom and different things like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we're looking forward to. We just need to make sure that we're prepared and that we get as many kids across that finish line as we possibly can.
Yeah, and I want to say, Troy, I love that, and that is one thing we have been very passionate about, is making sure that everyone has that, and sometimes they need that little bit of extra nudge, just that person behind them saying, come on, let's keep on going. And I think that's fantastic, the way you focus on that, and you do the attention to detail on that.
Well, I think that's the new job of a principal now. You know, it is more of being there for them and making sure that they have all the resources that they need to be successful. And it's really an individual plan for every single kid, because with the grad pathways that we're working on, each individual person can have a different plan to go through that to get to the end. And so I praise my counselors for tracking all that, the teachers for making sure that the courses are available for those kids. And those are things that we've changed this year to kind of to help with that situation.
Love that. All right, Amy, you're not. We're gonna focus back on you. You're not off the hook here. Let's talk about tell us a little about your background and new to Salem and where you've been and what you do with Salem Community Schools.
Well, actually, I was in the business world, so I have a marketing degree first. But when things change and you have life happens and your kids and that kind of thing, I decided to go back to teaching. And of course, the person that hired me at Henryville, sitting right next to me, and so back in 2014, it was my first year after the tornado and getting the new building, you know, the building back to the way it needed to be. And then I stayed at Henryville. I've been at Henryville since then until this year. Of course, not without a little bit of nudging each year of, hey, when you come into Salem. So, I mean, I still live in Sellersburg. I'm actually a Silver Creek graduate. But, you know, I do the business courses, and I've also been dual credit for education. But I can teach dual credit in every class except for accounting, because that has to be, you have to have a CPA for that. But, no, I do it because I enjoy the kids. And, you know, I had a job that I was getting paid a whole lot more than I do now, and I would take this over that any day.
Oh, I love that.
Great.
That's
So you traded black and gold for black and gold, right?
I actually did trade black and gold for black and
Yeah.
gold. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Easy wardrobe change. So, Amy, let's talk about business and like what do you, I guess, what's the difference from when you first started teaching and from your marketing, and how has business and what you teach changed, I guess?
I think it changes more with what you know that the community needs.
Brad, you're going to love this.
I
Yeah.
try to make sure that I check to see what's being used, and then that's what we go to teach. Like, we do use Google right now. Google's big, you know, everybody gets it, schools can get it for free, but that's not what businesses are using. Some businesses are still doing Microsoft, and so currently our digital apps class with our freshmen, we are teaching all the Microsoft applications, the differences with that, and then the changes with the state wanting to put personal finance back in, kind of practical thinking, because kids are not doing things and understanding money, not understanding credit and the basics, and so that's become a focus. And then, of course, when we're talking about the business courses themselves, I think the biggest thing is getting kids to think outside the box. They think everything should be black and white, and this is the answer, and that's not it. And there's got to be ways for them to be more critical thinking. I think that's the biggest focus.
The other thing is, I think we've added the Bloom board.
Blue board, yes, which has
Which
been
is
a
a-
challenge.
Explain the
It's
Bloom
a
board.
pilot that we were selected to do
Yeah, pilot
with
program.
our freshmen, and it was basically just a given an opportunity to show their work skill readiness.
Yeah, for the communication factor.
Yeah. So that's
Jobs, employability skills.
employability.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. I love that. Well, you know,
The other classes were seniors from the other schools. There's 5 pilots.
Yeah.
And we were the only one that did the freshmen.
I love that.
So what was the thinking behind freshmen versus seniors?
My thinking is basically we got to get them in that right mindset, because our sophomores are getting jobs. They're 16 years old, they're getting jobs.
Absolutely.
And so preparing them for that point, I thought was a better thing than when you're at the end and you're a senior and you'd be tired of doing the skills that they were asking them to do.
And they were doing college and careers. So
Right.
it kind of fell right in with communications and how would you write an email and how would you talk to someone and how would you...
I love that. I love the idea of starting with the freshmen, because you're exactly right. You know, 16 years old, and some places 15, but most places 16, and right away. So they're already prepared. So that's great. I love that.
well, and that works out well for you, Brad, too, because
Yes.
you do employ a lot of folks at Walmart.
Yes.
And it's nice, you know, a lot of times, you know, with high school students, you know, that get jobs,
Yeah.
this is just one more step, you know, to help out.
I'm very
Yeah.
proud of the minors that we have.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah, that is true. And what opportunities they're getting, for
Yes.
sure. Well, let's go back. Okay, because you kind of talked about, and I'm going to go back kind of old school. You know, business years ago, like, you know, we learned how to, you know, write checks. We learned how to take, you know, maybe shorthand. You know, you learned things. Are we still learning any of that, or what's the...
Actually, yes. We just recently finished a whole checking account section and a
Okay.
banking section because, of course, not every place, whether you like it or not, takes a debit card. Like sometimes the school, because I have to write a check to Salem.
Yeah.
But teaching them, though, the basics of budgeting, I think that was huge, and learning how mortgages work. And we're getting ready to go into insurance, car insurance, life insurance. You know, things that they're going to use. We just did taxes. So learning how to file their taxes, all the different types of tax laws, and we just finished credit. So, and, you know, is credit good? Is it, you know, should we get a credit card? Should we not? Do we pay everything with cash? And, you know, trying to get them to understand that it's how they control themselves, not, you know, just that's the situation of having a credit card.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest, you know, I guess when you graduate and all of a sudden, you know, everybody, for those, you know, that go on whatever pathway they choose, you always get like those in the mail, you know, credit card options. You know what I mean? Like, here, fill out it, take a credit card. Well, it seems great. You know, they're going to give me this kind of money. You know what I mean? But the interest that they're going to be charging on this, and I think that a lot of education is about daily life. You know what I mean? Just life, and finances are huge.
And they're going to use it every day.
This is something,
No matter what.
yeah.
And then the other part, you know, the intro to business and teaching them they're actually creating their own businesses. I guess I could go ahead and write them if I wanted to. do you guys want to be on the panel in May so that you can vote for our Shark Tank of kiddos?
No, Shark Tank's one of my favorites. Okay, I am obsessed with Shark Tank, so I would love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to be giving presentations in May. It is their final
You could
grade.
be Mr.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh.
Oh my goodness,
I mean,
Mr. Wonderful. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could, there's so many ways I could play this.
I mean-
First thing going through my head is, what am I going to wear? You know what I mean?
But they are, they've had, this is a year project, so every chapter that we do has something to do with starting with the business plan and going through and doing all the marketing, and they're creating their binders. They're going to have, if they have a product, they're going to have a 3D model. So they're going to be doing every little aspect and then presenting it.
Well, I'm amazed, and Brad, you probably can, add some things that, sometimes when you're talking with people in business, and they have gone into business, I'll say, have you, set aside for this? Do you know? And they're like, what? A lot of times people don't even understand the business plan. And learning at a young age and learning that this is what we need to do in order to have the American dream, own your own business.
Right, but we just started with the startup cost this past week, and so they are actually looking for everything that they have to actually open and seeing how much everything costs, because they're looking at wholesale prices and that kind of thing, and they're like, wait a minute, this is a lot.
Yeah, it makes you look at it different, for sure.
Yeah, and kind of backtracking to the writing a check thing, even with large corporations, not just us, but any large corporation, you would isolate some of your customers if you didn't have that option to write a check. But what people don't also think about is, if there's a problem with your debit card or something going on, you can still write a check, and it doesn't mean that you don't have the money. That's the reason there's a problem with the card. There could be, or you lose your debit card, and we're in this day and age, sadly, that happens, and people can. So at times, writing a check can be safer than using your debit card and getting your banking information hacked and things like that. So I think that's something interesting that we've kind of. I know the ease and debit cards are so much easier, credit cards so much easier, but I think sometimes some of that stuff that actually we forgot the why behind it, and we kind of eliminate that and just kind of let that drop by the wayside, when actually, just writing a check will never completely go away, and it can be a good backup system.
Well, and we just did, a little bit of that, but I think the biggest thing I got that we had them do was reconcile the bank statement. So it's looking at debit charges and that kind of thing, because kids say, I just look at my banking app. Yeah, your banking app may not be right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amy, you'll like this. I was I would not get on the bandwagon about the card, the debit card, because I knew that it would be too quick and too easy to slide. Okay, and so I was a check writer. I was one of the last pioneers, and I was at Disney. And there was, at Disney, everything's got to go fast. And there was a line behind me. I was writing my check, and people were hollering, "Who writes checks anymore?"
Betty White does.
Betty White. And they were like, so I got all kinds of flack behind me about writing my checks. You know what I mean? And I was writing as fast as I could, of course. But anyway, so I realized then that I probably need to change my ways. The pioneer.
Disney brought you in.
I need to, yeah. So I want to say that, but. In business, my business, I do have to have checks. So people that want checks, and that paper trail is not a bad thing sometimes.
Right. Right.
So it's nice that our students are being introduced to this and to know, I love this, and I love your enthusiasm. And speaking of Disney, you got something planned coming up? Listen to this, Brad. It gets cooler.
Yes, the Disney Club will be taking a trip during spring break to Disney, and of course we have a whole curriculum for them. But we also are taking a class the first day, and it is Imagineering and Theme Park Design with the Disney staff. And then, of course, that before I go into anything else, you ask me more questions, I do want to throw out there that we want to really thank Reach, because of the short time frame that we were able to get this started. We didn't have the fundraising time, and they gave us a grant that has benefited for these kids. And so it's definitely going to be a trip of a lifetime for this group.
That's awesome.
I would love that. Yeah, I've told her that would love to chaperone.
That is kind of everybody's.
I know, everybody's being hard. But it's not, I want to kind of just, we love the whole experience and all that, but it's actually a working trip. I don't think they're going to realize they're working, but I think it's going to be.
They won't know. I mean, they got their binders last week. And of course we have social sciences are in it, and then just regular science. There's mathematics. There's the cultural aspect. They're doing history. We're having them do some activities that they wouldn't think about doing before. Like we are going to do the flag retrieval, and it's at 5 o'clock every day at the front of Magic Kingdom, where a veteran comes out with the band, and they do American Beautiful and all of that, and you honor the flag and honor the veterans, and that's every single day. They're definitely going to have to go to the Hall of Presidents, and they're not sure about that, but we are going to draw with an Imagineer also, and we're going to do some conservation stuff in Animal Kingdom. So there's a lot of things that they have to do. They have checklists. They have all kinds of papers. They were a little shocked when they got their folder.
That's great.
I love that. I did not know that. I didn't know the flag. I didn't know.
Yes, that's every day. And
What a-
Imagineers every day. You can draw. There's actually a book inside of one of the restaurants where you can go sign and make your wish. There's all kinds of stuff. Little extra things that nobody knows about. I just have to want some. I have an April pass.
Okay. All right. Wow. Well, no, I love that. And what a great for our students. How many students will approximately be going?
There's 17.
17. That's a nice amount. Definitely. And are you flying or driving? Or?
Oh, we are flying. I'm sorry, but I'm not spending 15 hours on a bus for your kids. No. Nope. It's plane. Straight flight.
The 8th grades do the DC, and they've taken a plane or they've done on a bus, and I said that's the most growing experience you ever, when you're with your classmate and you are with their stinky socks because they're taking their shoes off, or something, that
We've got some special things lined up too that they don't know about. I won't say today, and their parents don't even know. So
That's awesome.
I know quite a few people there, so we've got some people there helping us out.
Oh, this is awesome. This is going to be so much fun. Well, what a great opportunity and Troy, you got to be so happy about that as principal. I mean, like that our students are getting this opportunity.
Well,
I
just also would say that, we went through 3 years with the COVID and where we couldn't do things, trips that had to be canceled for kids at Salem High School, and so having this opportunity and having our country be healthy enough to be able to do it, makes a huge difference in their lives, because education is not only in our classrooms, it happens in the real world, and these real world experiences are going to be something they remember for the rest of their lives.
And we have 2 kids that want to be Imagineers, so we're going to be talking with one of them for sure about the college program, because he will be a senior next year, and then there's a current freshman who wants to do this as well.
I'm familiar with that, and it's hard to get in there.
It is.
So this is awesome. You're laying the groundwork and starting. Yeah. Are there any of the 17 that's never been?
Yes, there are, and they're overwhelmed. Yeah.
So there would probably also, in addition to that, there may be some that haven't ever been on a plane before.
There is a couple that have not been on a plane.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. The energy that you're going to be having, the energy level is going to be.
It'll be.
I actually want to be on that plane. I would love to. You know how much fun they would be having.
Yes.
The funny things that will be said. I mean, I just think they're going to have a blast. I'm so happy for you, Amy. I love this. All right, let's talk about, we're kind of going all over. Troy, back to you now. Now back to you. Let's talk about some of the curriculum and how it's changed with Salem and maybe, and the reason for it.
Well, this year, the middle school has provided the 8th graders the opportunity to take prep and college careers, which is a required course that has to have everyone. And that has opened up some things for next year for the incoming freshmen to have some choices to pick pathways that can stay in our school, because we want to make sure that we get them interested in something that we offer or something down the road. We've added some classes this year at our school that kind of helps, but again, it's just kind of how do you pair that up with digital apps. Still has to be taught because we need the Microsoft Office thing. What do we pair that with? And so we're having freshmen select a variety of intro classes to get them interested in that. And then the following year, as sophomores, they'll be able to take a principal's class of business.
And digital apps class to go for any business class or any computer class for a pathway.
So the thing is, just giving them more opportunities. Now, we will still offer the prep and college careers for students that maybe weren't successful or moving in and still need it as a course offering. But I think the biggest thing is what we're trying to do is build the product so that it will stay within our ag department, our business department, and make sure that we make and reach out to those kids so that we get a group of kids to go through till the end and have a pathway. When they finish, they will have their 6 credits they need in that and have it at the capstone. And the other thing is, with this program, the internships become more externships where they can actually go experience the real workforce. We have advanced manufacturing that we're getting a lot of equipment in, and we're partnering, of course, with Ivy Tech. We have partnered with Ivy Tech with a lot of classes that our teachers teach for dual credit purposes to keep us where we're on the cutting edge. But it kind of gives us more opportunities, as I talked about earlier. Each kid has an individual plan now, and so we got to fit. How do we make it fit so that they're successful and they get to do what they want to do when they leave Salem High School? Prosser does a great job, and it's with 20 to 30 kids every year that go through their program and get those certifications. But we want to keep some of those kids here if we can. And again, we've added teaching. A pathway of teaching is a possibility. We've added, the ag has always had theirs, but we added food science this year. That is a dual credit food science taught by Miss Barrett, who is, she has a master's degree in it. And so it's something that I can tell you, we're utilizing the strengths of our staff to kind of build these. But our PLC time, our Wednesday morning hour delay, the first of the month, this is what they've been doing, working on how do we get these courses lined up and what's our path look like from 9th grade through senior year. And I think that that's going to continue to grow and evolve. It's not done. We keep talking a little bit, we may need to have a family and consumer science program, where we offer some classes to help our teaching pathway, because we'll need social skills and social development and child development, and those are 2 required courses in that. And the social roles and responsibilities course, I praise a lot of our people that are on staff. Aaron Humphrey sent me a new local pathway that has just been passed at another school that we can use as a pathway, but those are courses that we have to have in that path along with a work internship type program. So, we're all looking for different avenues to help our kids, and I think that that's the biggest thing is they got to know we're working for them, and we're trying to find the best niche to give them the best opportunity to help our community as workers, but also, help them follow their dreams.
Absolutely. I love that. I think teaching, you never stop learning, right? You're always growing and going and trying the new and seeing what works, right? And I love that.
It's just, it's taking time. I've been doing this now probably for 10 years with the grad pathways, but now it's more important, how do I match my curriculum to match the pathway to help these kids make it an easier path to get to the end.
And then match what they're doing at the state level to what they were going to start requiring.
Well, right, yeah. So let's go back. Okay, so if, as a freshman, I choose kind of a pathway, let's say that, I go back to my freshman year, what if I kind of change and think, I kind of think I'm more interested in something else. Can I change my...
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Brad, you know us.
I know. You and I had the same question.
The first few courses are the same for every kid.
Okay.
When you're doing college and careers, though, you're going to get some ideas of what those kids are interested in.
Right.
They're going to take those personality tests. They're going to look at the different career clusters and kind of make a decision of what they like and dislike.
So does it help them a little more quickly? Decide that if a pathway they choose or think maybe isn't the right one for them,
I think so, but I think you also will have the flexibility to flip
Okay.
into another program.
Okay, awesome.
So I might
Love that.
start in this program, but I really am interested now in say, media.
Yeah.
There's enough of a carryover with the base courses that we'll be able to do that. But the juniors and seniors are the ones that right now, if they don't have a plan to go through an entire program, they struggle with how do I get them to the end. The dual credit does help because that's one of the pathways we can use. Academic honors diploma and technical honors diploma is one of those things. But you're looking at 35% of the kids have that as a possibility. We got to find something for the middle and lower end. How can we make that work so that we know they're really productive? There's some kids that may not be my best academic students, but they're my hardest workers. And I'm going to tell you this, they're going to be the ones that Brad wants in his program because they work extremely hard, and we know that they can do that. So we want to reach those kids, but also give them confidence to say, oh, I can have a program too. I can be in this world, business world or ag world. I mean, there's still a lot of agriculture in this county,
Absolutely.
so we want to make sure we push that a little bit.
Love that.
Well, I think that's important because I think a lot of businesses, and I'm not just talking about the business that I work for, but a lot of businesses, they like having the minors, the teenage kids, because that exposes them to a lot of things. But it also, nowadays, there are so many more companies that are offering part of their benefits packages. Like, I will use us for an example. Once you turn 18, whether you're part-time or full-time, we do Live Better You. You can get a degree. Walmart will pay for it. Don't put any strings on it as far as how long you have to work for us. And you can do that. And we do that as a way to keep working up. But these skills that the high school kids have, that companies want that. And they want that, a well-rounded associate, whether they're a minor or an adult. But I think that those types of things can also, you mentioned earlier in the show about, getting people to think outside the box, getting the students to think outside the box. Companies are now having to think outside the box to kind of say, we have to do things a little bit outside the box to get, this younger generation, to be long-term workers for you. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. I think that's made businesses better. It's made benefits for associates better. It's made contributions to community, because that's one thing that we think about is, and I've noticed that our minors that we have now coming to work for us, not just in Salem, but in the entire market and in the state of Indiana, is they're so much more community-minded also. And, Salem Walmart is very community-minded, and that's on purpose. But I think it's always good when our younger kids in high school have that. Education's important. I want to be doing the right thing. These are my opportunities, but community is still important too. If that made sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely.
Well, I think the community part has really helped us with the clubs. The REACH grant has provided us opportunities for different clubs, and different interest groups, and it's kind of made every student have an opportunity to feel a niche in our school. And to me, that's just as important as the mathematics, the science, and different things, because we're reaching a whole lot more students right now than just, when I was in school, you were either an athlete or a non-athlete, and now we're really reaching like the Disney Club, and we have a gardening club, the baking club,
It's great.
the STEM club that's going to meet tonight with Mr. Calhoun and work with the laser cutters and different equipment that we have. I'm just excited because it gives kids that opportunity that they may not have had previously. So that's, to me, is where I think education is changing, and being at that, having over 40 years of experience, I'm still learning every day too. So and I have to have that energy that is needed to make that all work. But I already rely on a lot of people. I'm going to tell you this, because you can't do it by yourself.
I also think those clubs are helping those kids in a different way, where they are getting to see that there are other students that have the exact same interests as them that they didn't think that they could have, or have a relationship talking to that other student.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That's, always good to blur those lines a little bit, you know, because not everybody's going to be an athlete, not everybody's going to be a good singer, not everybody's going to be able to play an instrument, but there are still clubs that, you know, it truly, and you were talking about having spent time in marketing. You think about the saying, and we're really kind of living up to it, there's no child left behind, right?
Yeah.
You know, that was years ago, kind of almost like people didn't buy into it. But if you're, as an outsider, which, you know, you guys are the insiders, but it's always good to see that really kind of that's true.
Yeah.
You know, now more than ever we need
I
that
think
too.
it is, and I think I learned that from you. So, I mean, there were no students that we ever, like, with, even in Henryville, it was, if we saw one kid, he would always jump right in. We did these GEI meetings every week. What kid is on the cusp? Who do we have to help? And that's always the way it's been.
That's important.
Yeah, and it's nice for maybe for those for the community today to hear this. You know, I mean, to realize, you know, that because this is our future, and these are the ones that are going to be taking care of us someday. That they're the ones to be running, you know, running the community, doing things, and we want them to have every opportunity. And Brad and I talk about all the time. You know, this is the time to try everything and to figure out what path you want to go. And it is also, I love these options and trying to figure this out and giving direction and some help in this area, because let's go back. I mean, you're really hitting the ground running on your freshman year of building up to get to your senior year. You know what I mean? You're really focusing on that to keep them on that pathway to start them. You know, here's your trail you're starting on and going on your sophomore. You know, they always say, was it the sophomore, junior, which one was the toughest? I always used to say. Junior year, yeah, I think it was, the toughest. You know, and then your senior year, you always felt like that was a little more, but you're on that pathway to get there, you know, and then you can't wait to, you know, your senior year, and then like a month or two before school gets out, you're like, I don't want to leave.
Wait a minute.
Don't kick me out of here, you know what I mean? I'm here to stay.
Yeah, that's when Jeannie's like, I'm not making you dinner, you gotta learn it on your own.
Goodbye, Brad. It wasn't a graduation party, it was a party for Jeannie.
Oh, it was a countdown, so Brad's gone. Yeah, no, we joke.
His mom is fantastic. We love Jeannie, yes. Jeannie's fantastic. But anyway, isn't it true? Don't you feel like that's really changed in education? I mean, I'm not saying that it hasn't and been the focus, but now, like, coming in, like you're saying, you know, from 8th grade, starting right off and kicking right in, so your freshman year, you are, you know, boots on the ground, ready to go, you know, to your career.
Yeah, I think that's important, but I think our counselors right now are meeting with all the students, planning what classes to do, working with the pathways. I can't praise them enough of the preparation and time that they spend in doing that. I know that there's another parent meeting today for incoming freshmen tonight, and I just know that, you know, what they're doing is laying groundwork so that part is an easy transition. But also our teachers got to sell their programs, and if you're not selling your program, you're not going to get them in the door. Prosser does a great job of selling. And so now we need to do that same thing in our program, whether it be in our art classes, our music classes, our foreign language, all things that I think are important as well in the curriculum. I just think we got to start selling these kids, hey, we want you to be in our program. And I think you would agree, that's something that I think that we're adding to our plates right now, is the sell part.
That's how you get kids to want to be in your classroom.
Right.
You have to put on a show.
Well, and you want them to want to be there. You want them to buy into it, and it is. I mean, and it works better for everybody. I think too, something that I always like and really try to encourage parents to be involved. Don't you? I mean, just because, you know, that freshman year when they hit high school, parents still hang in there and be a part. You know what I mean? You know, I know a lot of times, like, in elementary, you know, they drive them to school and just, you know, making sure that everybody's, you know, got their shoelaces tied and stuff like that. In middle school, you give a little more freedom. High school, it's like you're on, you know, but it's still important for parents to be, I'm not saying.
Parents do need to be involved a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still involved. My daughter's 26 and they're 4th year teaching, and my son's a junior in college. And I'm involved every single day still. So
I'm involved with mine too. So yeah.
Yeah.
And Brad's involved.
And your job is to embarrass them when you pull up to school. Doesn't matter if they're
Absolutely.
17, 16, 15. Love you. Give me a hug. You're not going anywhere. So yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Pull up,
Yeah.
you pull up, take them to school, and you have rollers in your hair.
Well.
Well, not you, but yeah. But it is important, and I'm sure as a principal of a high school and a teacher of a high school, you really appreciate those parents that really just stay involved and get to know the teachers, and it's everybody working together.
It is, but I also think that I want to make sure that we're listening to what our parents are telling us. We're trying to find out what their needs are as well. They don't understand because when I went to school, you were going to college, you did this. If you're not going to college, you did this, and you didn't. It was cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today, the cookie molds are broken, and what we have to do is figure that out. And I'm basically, I hate to say it, I'm the fisherman. I throw the lures out and try to bring them in and try to drag it in, and hopefully somebody will bite. And the thing is, I've changed a lot of lures in the last 25 years. So I use a different one for a different person, and you just see what you can do. I hate that. That's a good analogy, though, because if they're not biting, you got to change. And so I think that's what I'm proud of most, is that our staff is working hard to change. And in these meetings that we have on Wednesdays, or people that say, what are you doing in that hour? That's what we're doing. We're discussing how do we need to change, what do we need to do differently. How are we going to make our kids reach their potential? What are you going to do if they don't understand something? What are you going to do if they already know it? How are you going to extend it a little farther? Those are the questions that we're asking on those Wednesdays, and having small group discussion, it's very helpful. It's not one person speaking. It's a group of 5 or 6 that are speaking, and it helps all departments get stronger. And this month, we were able to meet with the middle school, and that's eye-opening to try to get us to be together. So that path just goes through, the pathway for business. We're trying to encourage that to continue.
Love that. So let's maybe for the community that, or some listeners that didn't realize, on Wednesdays this is a new actually this year. Maybe
No, actually, last year we met every Wednesday.
Okay.
This year we meet only the first Wednesday of the month, but we do it at the beginning of the day. That has been very much appreciated by all of us, because we are able to still have time to prepare for the kids. When it's at the end of the day, we're exhausted.
Yeah.
And it was hard to have those meaningful conversations. Now we can adjust to that. And we're doing it once a month versus every Wednesday. And we feel like we're being more productive.
And it's all of the high school teachers, or just like a certain group? How do you?
The whole corporation.
The whole corporation.
Each building has divided their groups. We do it by department, and my department chairs lead the meetings. And then I think middle school does it by grade level, and elementary does it by grade level. And so they're able to have the same kind of meaningful conversation within. It might be curriculum, it might be assessment. My focus this year has been assessment at the high school, just because I need to change that mindset. I need to have kids to think when they walk in to take the SAT that they're going to have a chance to pass it.
Yeah.
And believe in themselves.
Right.
And so I think the little things that we've done throughout the year, hopefully that helps. And that's something that I'm going to only be able to see with data as it comes in after we took the test last week on Thursday. And I felt pretty good about how the kids took it more seriously than we have in the past. So hopefully that will be a good indicator. It's good.
Right.
Kind of backtracking a little bit, as you were talking about communication, and you guys are listening, and you're doing active listening and all that, and I think it's just kind of worth time to reemphasize that, going back to communication and parents being involved, is, the Salem Schools has made themselves available for parents to call and ask questions, and I think it's very important that you very parents need to take advantage of that. If there's something going on, or you're not sure, or just need some advice on, hey, my student, this is what I'm getting at home, you guys are more than willing to talk to those parents, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And say, here's what we're seeing, and then develop a plan. And I think that's another way for parents to stay active in that. And when you have a school system that's so willing to be open and transparent and communicate, I think it just makes it better. And parents need to take advantage is a bad way to that they need to be on board and do that and reach out. And I think that's because not all school systems are like that, and not all administrators or teachers are willing or take the time. And so I think that's very important, because all too often people think that it's just the educator's job to educate our kids, and parents have got to be involved. You've got to be involved in it. So I just kind of, not to repeat that too much, but I just think that's important that we have that opportunity here in the Salem school system, and parents need to take advantage of that. That's my perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get involved. Love that. Let's go. We're getting, time goes by so fast, but I don't want to miss anything else. But we got to talk about this safe room. Oh my gosh, how excited! It's like just weeks away, not too much longer. And we're going to be having a groundbreaking, grand opening, and yay!
Well, I'm excited to have the safe room, and we are thankful we did not have to use it on Friday.
Oh, I know. But what a blessing we had it if we needed it, and what a blessing for our community.
But I will say this: it's going to be a great facility. It will hold all our kids in an event of an emergency. It will be open for the community in the event. It's an evening thing. We're working those details out right now. But it's going to host a lot of different things, not only just band and choir classes, but it also will have, be able to be used in the evenings for different activities, guitar club, and have acoustics and different things and sound. Also, you could have little small banquets and different things. So I really am looking forward to seeing how we're going to use this. I'm excited for it to get finished. Right now, they're looking at end of May probably, before it's done. So it'll be the start of the school year next year. But it's going to be nice to have all our teachers in the same building, and the students don't have to transfer, and the band has to go over to the middle school the last period of the day. So I'm excited about it, and I'm also, thankful that we're going to be a corporation that has 3 safe rooms in 3 different buildings, so all our children are safe in the event of a tornado or something along those lines. And I'm just, again, I was thankful that Friday we watched very closely and held everybody safe, and things worked out very well, that we were able to have school. But my biggest fear was, can the kids get home, because we knew that there may be flooding and different things that we had to worry about, because I think we got 3 or 4 inches of rain that day. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, I do want to touch a little. You actually came from Henryville, so you really had quite a tangle with that, and this is not to be messed with, this department.
Well, and I think the importance of us having this facility will change our evacuation plan, because in the event of something really serious coming, there was places that I can honestly say that I was not sure about, and now I'm sure. I will be sure that everybody will be safe. And
that
this
brings
way,
tears to my eyes. No, I mean, to have that net, just to have that, and just such a blessing, And
I just know that I learned a lot from it, and don't want to experience it again. But I'm thankful to have my coworkers that worked really hard on Friday, as we all 3 were on different weather channels, because you get different views from different people. I was thankful for central office. Dee Dee Zink, our transportation person, was watching on her end and keeping the bus drivers informed of when we were going to dismiss. We held school for 10 minutes just because there was a thunderstorm that went through, and it would have been hard to load all the elementary kids at that time. so it made sense. And I think there was a great work done by a great team, and hopefully we continue that.
Absolutely, yeah. And I thought Friday was something that we didn't know how it was going to go, and definitely was handled very well, very very good. Because we knew that it would be safer for them to be in the safe rooms, even though they're not 100% finished, the interior, so to speak. But it'd be safer to be there than on a bus or some homes even. So that worked out really well, and we are very blessed that we have this. So I think it's exciting, and you can't ever be too prepared with students and children. You can't ever be too safe or that safety net. So that's a blessing. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. And I know every time I talk about it, I get so excited because I think it's so awesome that we can have it at all three schools. And also, we are a public school, and it's used for our community. And should there be an emergency like that, we can offer that. And I love that. That's what I love, that we can help out our community too. Be involved.
There was a time in the fall that the British Rum Elementary was opened up one evening when storms went through, and I really think that it's a community effort, and all three buildings would be available at that time, and that would be something that if you felt as a community member, I'm not in a safe place, I can get to a safe place, and if you have enough time, that's the way to do it. We had a lot of kids leave and go home, and I understand you want to be close to your family during those times.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, the elementary school that you're talking about was fantastic. Yeah, that was a huge blessing. And, Matt Gorman and his team over there, they're like, what can we do? You know what I mean? And even Walmart helped. You guys helped. It was during when we were taking temperatures and stuff and things. You guys were all, it's just awesome how everybody worked together for that. So, awesome. Yeah. Well, I had to mention that. And so everyone, we'll let everyone know whenever that gets a little closer to time. But it's exciting for sure.
It is.
So, also, spring break coming up, graduation, prom, and exciting time, right? And
Just getting started.
Just getting started. Yeah. So, spring break coming up, and then of course, when the kids come back from spring break, can you tell them are their batteries a little more charged, energy level a little higher?
Yes, and then the seniors will definitely get senioritis.
Yeah.
They'll be counting it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
They already are.
Yeah,
They
are.
But right after spring break, it gets real, doesn't it?
It gets
like,
real.
hey.
Then that's when the emotions come back.
Oh.
Like you said, Brett, I don't know what I'm going to do in 30 some days. This is going to be real, and so some of those pressures. I've been getting up at 7:30 and going to school at 8:15 and going home at 3:20. Those days end. And so then you got to figure out what you're going to do. So there's great opportunities. The employment market right now is really, really good. So they need to take advantage of it if they can.
Yeah. Do you hear employees saying that they really, because there are a lot of people looking for people to work, wanting to hire, and I'm sure that that's something that that you guys hear a lot.
I just know if you drive through, the signs are out there. So if you want to
Absolutely.
work, and you are able to, the market is good right now.
I agree. Yeah, I agree 100% with that. All right, so graduation, are we still on? We're on task, and we didn't. What's the date of graduation? Am I putting you on the spot?
May 27th at 2 o'clock.
May 27th, 2 o'clock. All right. And spring break at the end of this month, right?
March 25th?
24th, last day of school. Slightly 25th.
There you go.
Look at
Talk about a
Amy.
countdown.
Yeah,
See,
Amy's
that's
like,
good, though. That's good. Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, it is the happiest place on earth.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if you're doing projects and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We've
No, I
been doing
love it.
projects beforehand.
Yeah.
We've been doing Khan Academy's Imagineering in a Box. So we've been doing that during our meetings.
Great.
So.
That's wonderful. Well, Amy, I love your energy. And you and I have met before, and I'm trying to get on that I'm trying to ride that choo-choo train to Disney with you. They'd be like, we've got all the volunteers we need, Becky. Okay, well,
Garth
I'm
Brooks'
on.
Shameless needs to be playing
You
in
never
the
know.
background.
That's right.
Get
now,
bigger,
yeah.
you'll have too many kids.
Well,
You
and
have
that's,
to get other
you know,
people.
have to call
Yeah.
Becky. Yeah. Well, I've got my phone, and I check my phone often, Amy. Okay, sir. I'm on speed dial with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Troy, I want to say you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work at Salem High School, and this is going to be an exciting time. Graduation is always exciting. We've really got a great rate at Salem Community Schools of graduates crossing that that stage, and you take that very seriously, and I thank you for that, for sure. Yeah. So it's exciting, and that's coming around the river bend, and prom's always, I love the prom, and
It's at, what is it, Cornerstone this year in
Little
Salem.
different,
So
yeah.
we're even staying home for prom, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm very thankful it's not on Derby Day.
Me too.
Yeah,
I might
usually
get
on
to go to
Derby. You know, I always run from the Derby to the prom, and I always bring my
Yeah.
Derby hat, and everybody has to try it on. But this year it'll be a little nice, a little different. So it's going to be awesome. Definitely, we did the prom dress giveaway, and Salem Community Schools are so good about letting me host it there, and so we got the girls ready for prom. So exciting time for sure.
Great.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you guys, and Salem Community Schools, keep up the great work, and I know everybody works together, and I love the working together with the middle school and even elementary, everybody. I love the communication, and of course, that's what it takes, everybody, you know, working together to be successful. So.
And I'd like to do a shout out for the elementary teachers. I know that yesterday they started the iRead, which is a test for second and third, and the internet went down.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that, you know, they will get through this, and all our kids will be successful. And I believe in every one of them, so they need to hear that as well.
I love that. You know, I always think of it as a relay race. You know, you have that, the first, you know, that has the baton is, you know, the elementary school, then the middle school carries it on, you know, that the leg, and then the last leg, you guys got to take them through the finish line, right?
Yeah, we're down to the last 100 now with
There
the
you go.
seniors.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah, you can tell I ran track. I always think of it that way, and it's awesome. So, love that, and everybody's got a big role and a big part. And these are actually, you know, for our students that graduate, you know, there's going to be teachers always forever in their head. They're going to remember things that were said or things that were done, or how they made them feel. So that's always a good time for sure.
Yeah.
All right, and Bradley over at Walmart, keep up the great work. We're excited, and when you start looking over, you know, I'm like a nosy neighbor over here. When you start seeing the tables start getting set up for the, you know, the outdoors, and it's a little cold. We're supposed to get cold Friday, you know, on the weekend, but you know, you can't help but get excited about
Yeah,
that.
and this is the time of year that within the next couple weeks you'll see us start taking over part of the parking lot for our lawn and garden, our seasonal stuff. So there's actually a meeting today that will define kickoff and give exact dates of kickoff and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. But Easter candy is here. Peeps, everything that you could possibly want is already here, set, ready to go. And we've got a lot of new spring stuff coming in over in the bakery section and in our deli. So full plan meals, things like that. So and we're also gearing up. And one thing that we're doing again this year that I'm very proud of is for our holidays. So even because of inflation and everything, but the cost of your Easter holiday meal will be the same as it was pre-inflation prices. We're very methodical about that at the holidays and doing stuff like that. So we're continuing that. So I'm very proud of that aspect of things. So and now that we're past some of the last, you know, remnants of the last 2 or 3 years, then people can get back together, and that's important. Family is very important. So yeah. And keep up the great work at Salem. I'm proud to be an alum, but one thing I'm very proud of that Walmart is we're going to be a part of the Retired Teachers Dinner. We're going to be a part of food for that, and so I get to go at least see some amazing teachers that, you know. And I want to give a shout out to Ann Terrell, and it's hard for me not to call her Mrs. Terrell, you know, but amazing teacher, and she's one of the ones that I think her along with Margie Morris and some others and just a bunch that just made a difference. But so we're very proud to be involved in that, and I'm very proud because those are folks that made a definite impact. And we've got a lot of great associates that have come out of Salem, and those teachers have made a great impact on them and prepared us to be the best. So I just thank
And
you
more
for
to
that.
come.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Ask Amy
If any
and
of your great students want you, send them to see me. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amy and Troy, they're putting great students out there. So
Yeah,
awesome.
they are. They are.
All right, let's thank our sponsors, Bob.
All right, we've got Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Dr. Blackside Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Fox Lee Wealth Management, Americans for Prosperity, and Fantastic Sam's.
All right, thank you. Happy Wednesday.
Barbecue is back in Salem, baby, and things are really smoking. New owner Bill and his family would like to invite you to come out to Poor Boys Barbecue at 506 South Main Street, Salem, Indiana, and try us out. I guarantee you'll love it. From pulled pork to ribs to brisket and even barbecue chicken. We have something for everyone. They have kids' meals, burgers, and even smoked wings. And if you've never heard of our haystack onion rings, you've got to try them. And you'll also love our #1 bestseller, the Pig Pin, which features a heaping plate of steak fries covered in cheese and pulled pork. Just $10.95 or get 2 sides for just $2 more. Not sure what you want? Try the sampler platter, which gets you ribs, brisket, pulled pork, barbecue chicken, smoked sausage, and 3 sides for just $23.95. Bill has fed NASCAR drivers, musicians, and NFL players. And they're open now here in Salem and ready to serve you and your family. Come in and see Bill and his family today. They'll be having a grand opening coming soon. Stay tuned to WSLM for more information. Call them at 812-570-0020 for carryout, or come in for some of the best barbecue you'll ever eat. And remember, at Po' Boys Barbecue, they only smoke the good stuff.
This is Melissa Jeremiah with Hoosier Uplands Home Health Care and Hospice. We have a local team of professionals who are able to care for you in your home. Home care speeds the recovery process and allows a person to heal in their own home. Hospice offers symptom management to those facing the last stages of life. Our professionals are available at 812-849-4447 to answer any questions you have regarding home health care or hospice.
Fantastic Sam's Cut and Color is hiring stylists. If you're driven, creative, and ready to make an impact, then we're looking for you. We offer competitive salaries, flexible schedules, and professional training. So bring your creativity, style, and drive to your local Fantastic Sam's today and show us what you've got. Fantastic Sam's. Real salon experiences, real savings, real fantastic.
Chili Chefs, here's your chance to showcase your favorite white or red chili. The Awareness Washington County Chili Cook-Off will be held March 11th at Southern Hills from 4 to 7 p.m. If your club, service group, business, or church is looking for a way to be noticed by the public, this is it. Sign up for a booth today. There is no entry fee, and you could win one or more of the 4 cash prizes. You can have information about your programs at your booth and present it to the hundreds of hungry people who stop by. Call 812-896-1930 for a registration form or visit awarenesswashingtoncounty.org.
Cheese is going where it's never gone before. To the bottom, Papa John's is flipping the pizza over and putting it underneath the crust. Papa John's Crispy Parm Pizza features their thin crust seasoned with a blend of shredded Parmesan, Romano cheese, and can be ordered with your choice of toppings. The Crispy Parm Pizza gives you an added crisp bite provided by the cheesy crust baked to perfection. Enjoy the Crispy Parm Pizza with one topping for $12.99 and get one in time to celebrate National Pizza Day on February the 9th. Call today 812-883-3369 for order to pick up or delivery, or use the Papa John's app to start earning Papa Rewards. Better pizza, better ingredients, Papa John's. If you're looking for a church in the area, try Turning Point Church at 899 West McLean Avenue in Scottsburg. Come see Pastor John Jackson and the congregation at Turning Point, a place for second chances and new beginnings. Regular services are on Sunday at 10 a.m., Tuesday prayer time at 7 p.m., and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Check them out on Facebook, YouTube, or online at turningpointchurchscottsburg.com for upcoming events, class times, and more. Also, Turning Point will be having a food giveaway for the community on February the 6th and February the 20th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or until the food runs out.
Country music superstar and coach on NBC's The Voice, Blake Shelton. Back to the Honky Tonk Tour, presented by Kubota. With special guest, CMA and ACM Female Vocalist of the Year, Carly Pierce. And Jackson Dean. Don't come looking. Blake Shelton. KFC Young Center, March 9th, 2023. Blake Shelton with special guests Carly Pierce and Jackson Dean. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Blake Shelton, KFC Young Center, March 9th, 2023. For more, visit BlakeShelton.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group and AEG presents.
Howdy folks, Craig Martin at Billy Martin Store in Martinsburg. I'd like to start off by thanking all of our loyal customers for the support that you give to us year after year. We are the oldest Indiana family-owned and operated business, and have been serving you now for over a century. And as the fifth generation of the Martin family business, our family still tries to spend each day making you, our customers, number one in both sales and service. Billy Martin Store carries a complete line of home furnishings, appliances, and floor covers that should meet any demand that you have. Billy Martin Store sells to you every day at low prices, whether you're building or just replacing. We service what we sell, and we will continue to the best of our ability to stand behind you if a problem should occur. So now that you have the facts, why not make your next purchase from a family that does care about your needs and will be happy to serve you in any way. So check us out, tell your friends, and drive on down to downtown Martinsburg, or feel free to give us a call at 967-3997, and we'll be glad to help you.
Remember when you had your birthday party at McDonald's, playing with your family and friends, enjoying cake and that one-of-a-kind McDonald's food and drink? If you're looking for a fun and safe place to have a party for your children or grandchildren, look no further. Party time is back at McDonald's right here in Salem, Mitchell, and West Baden. That's right, hosted birthday parties are back, baby! Call event coordinator Renee Lewis at 812-788-0126 to schedule your birthday for Salem, Mitchell, or West Baden today. The party includes food and drink for up to 10 guests, with your choice of white or chocolate cake, ice cream for each child, a gift for the birthday boy or girl, goodie bags for each child, and a festive decorated party area. Parties at Salem allow children to play, while the McDonald's in Mitchell and West Baden will feature age-appropriate games. Let McDonald's make your child's next birthday party stress-free for you and fun for them. Call Renee at 812-788-0126 today and get your next party on the schedule at McDonald's.
This is Brad at your Salem Walmart. It's finally lawn and garden season, and we're excited to announce our grand opening for Lawn and Garden on Saturday, April 14th. Lots of new plants and outdoor furniture arriving daily, as well as all of your outdoor tools, decorative pots, plus soil and mulch. Let's dig into spring together at our Salem Walmart, where our people really do make a difference.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the stair that only creaks when everyone else in the house is asleep. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Give Seth at Marshall's a call today at 812-967-3742, and we'll be glad to take care of you.
Dr. Minigun invites you to her new high-tech office in Salem at 1350 South Jackson Street. Her office is a part of Dr. Brad Black's Eye Associates, regarded as one of the leading eye care centers in the United States. The combined practice eye doctors and surgeons have helped thousands of people enjoy better vision. Dr. Mindy Gunn is committed to excellence because the people from Kentuckiana turn to her for answers, and patients turn to Dr. Gunn for the best eye care treatment available. If you're experiencing vision problems or having problems with your current glasses or contacts, give her a call today at 812-896-1717. Dr. Mindy Gunn is seeing patients for the latest in advanced eye care. You can get glasses, contacts, or prescription sunglasses. Come visit Dr. Gunn at Dr. Black's Eye Associates in their new high-tech paperless office today. They are closed on Mondays, open Tuesday 9 to 6, Wednesday 8 to 5, Thursday 9 to 6, Friday 8 to 5, and every other Saturday 8 to noon. Most insurances are accepted and affordable payment options can be worked out with you. To schedule your next eye appointment, again, call 812-896-1717. You'll be glad you did, and she'll be glad to take care of your eyes.
At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Which is best, white chili or red chili? Bring your appetite and your opinion to the AWC Chili Cook-Off March 11th from 4 to 7 at Southern Hills Church. Tickets are available at the door. Only $5 for adults and $3 for children. If your own chili recipe is killer, then sign up to compete. Call 812-216-6505 for a registration form or download the form from awarenesswashingtoncounty.org. There is no fee to enter, and you have the chance to win cash prizes for Best Red Chili, Best White Chili, People's Choice Best Chili, and Best Decorated Booth. Hope to see you March 11th.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
I just know that I drove the standing line. I'm intentionally overstaffed on the front end. You do a great job. Thank you.
Stomach pain or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause bowel irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is safety. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.